Just because it happened like that before, it doesn't mean it will happen like that again, Leo. That's important to remember here. So what we have as your underlying energy is the Faith card, which is the Hierophant. This is a card that talks about it's the prescribed path. It's the tried and tested, the tried and true. Now, yes, it's called faith. Why is it called faith? Or why does the Hierophant deal with these kinds of ideas of traditions and, you know, how it's always been done? Because for a lot of us, that can bring us stability and security in life. You know, but we choose to follow that path. We choose to have faith. You know, this is something that we conform to. And even the person that says, I don't conform to anything, even the most non-conformist out of us, we conform to something. We have our own idea of what a tradition is. It may not be what everyone else considers a tradition, but we have our own traditions, right? So that's your underlying energy for this week. What do you believe in? What is it that you're doing? And are you doing it because they're your rules, your traditions, or because someone else has told you to do it this way? The card for Taurus. Some of you might be dealing with a Taurus here. But I kind of get the sense there's a lot of questions being asked. Now, for some of you, it may be to do with your spirituality. If you have a look at this card, there's a lot of these religious kind of, they look like leaders of different religions, right? So it can be that to do with our spirituality, but whatever, it doesn't, this could be the marriage card. This could be learning something new, you know, institutions of higher learning, religious institutions, whatever it is. But it feels like you need more information. That's what it, some of you are having a crisis of faith in whatever it is, your relationship, your work, your whatever. And I see that with the Page of Swords coming up here. Remember what I said, the pages they're not as mature. They don't have the maturity of the knights, definitely not of the kings and queens, but that's okay. That's their job. That's why we always see these kind of very young people as pages, because they've not been doing it long. It's something new. So you might have come, there might have been some new information. And whether that's your own personal truth, remember that swords are our thoughts, our beliefs, our ideas, and how we communicate them. So you may have received some news. You may have a new personal truth. You've been brutally honest with yourself. But what the Page of Swords shows is that there's more understanding needed here. So maybe some more information that you can get out of the person. You can ask more questions. But it feels like whatever this is, crisis of faith for some, or the rules that are being followed or whatever, more information is needed. The Page of Swords tells us that very clearly at the heart of this reading. More information is needed. Now, a lot of you, it's kind of strange because it's to do with yourself. It's to do with what you believe in, what you have faith in. And why am I saying this is because we have the Queen of Wands in the past. That's fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And the Queen of Wands, she's very confident. She knows what she has and she knows how to use it. She knows what she wants and she'll go for it using whatever tools that she has available to her. She'll take the action. You know, she very much is about pursuing her passions, her creativity. What is it that she's looking to do in the world? And beautiful energy. I love the King and Queen of Wands. I think they're some of my favorite court cards. But if that's the past, that's the foundation. What is that telling you? First of all, it's telling you you can rely on yourself. You can rely on yourself because she does rely on herself. But with this card, it's almost like you're relying on, I don't want to say someone else to tell you the way because it's not that, but it's an external truth, an external path. Is it in line with who you are? And I do see a kind of conflict here. I do see a kind of, battle between what you believe or what you believe about yourself and the path that you're on. Is that path still in line with your dreams? Now, the reason I'm saying that is the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is in your present. And yes, that's Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy, water energy. But the Knight of Cups is the dreamer. He is sometimes called, I say he, it's not masculine or feminine, but, this is someone who is the delusional romantic. The one who only focuses on how they feel, right? How they feel. Now, I say this all the time, it takes a lot of courage to dream. I know dreamers are usually seen as like barefoot hippies, that, they have no responsibilities and stuff. No. The older we get, the more jaded we become. We become cynical. This is your dream, how you want to feel. This is someone else, the rules, following the rules. Or we've always done it this way. And I kind of, whenever I get this kind of a combination, I always bring up, there's this post. I reposted it on my Instagram, so you might have already seen it. And it's Will Smith, and he says this, and he says, he thinks that every successful person in the world has to be kind of delusional. Has to be. Otherwise, why else would you step forward and say, yeah, it might have been done like this for a million years, but I can do it differently. I can make something new happen here. That's the Knight of Cups. And so other people will call you crazy when you come out with a dream like that. But you have this solid foundation of who you are. I feel like it's going in a new direction. It's going in there might be a new passion, new dream, a new wish, a new goal that you have. There is something about what's being offered. So the Knight of Cups, somebody might be offering you something. You might be ready to offer something. I'm going to say this. If this is a relationship reading, like romantic or friends or whatever, it could be someone who is a completely different age, who is from a different culture, something that's completely different from what you've usually gone for. Now, that could be the same for work, right? You've always done a certain kind of job. You're very good at it. You're very confident. And now you're considering something that's completely new. In which case, that's why this is coming up. Well, you've always done it that way, but do you think you could do something new? The only way you'll find out is by getting more information. Page of Swords. Understanding what it is that you're going for. Do the research, right? I always see the Page of Swords. He's the spy, yeah, but to do more research. Go find out what's going on here. Is it in line with your truth? Is it in line with your belief? What's being offered? I mean, that's actually a nice combination because this is more information. Ask the questions. And the Knight of Cups is it makes you happy, right? But it's not enough. Will it really make you happy? Asking the questions will tell you that. And what comes out of this, if you explore the dream, if you go look at how you feel, consider an offer that's being made or you offering something to someone else. For some, it's defying tradition. For others, it might be going back to a tradition. I don't know why that's coming up for someone, but it is. It's like, it's no longer just you. It's like, what is my faith? What keeps me going? What allows me to explore different avenues, new emotions? What makes me happy? If you do that, combine this energy here. What you have coming up as a future energy is the Ace of Pentacles. Now, the Ace of Pentacles this is the seed that we sow, right? And have a look here. You see these acorns and stuff. You can, if you plant that and it's tiny, you'll get a massive tree out of it. But it all starts with the seed, right? What we sow. And I see you going in a different direction. I feel like it's a change of direction week. And a lot of the signs have been getting that. But this is something deep for you because the faith card is about commitment. It's what we choose to commit to. What we choose to commit to is bottom line. That's what it is. There might be something new that you're choosing to commit to or a new cycle that begins for you. This is either a recommitment to something or starting something new. You commit to something else. But the only way you know what to do is by looking at how it makes you feel. And not how you're seen. I'm going to be very clear on that. The Queen of Wands, she looks spectacular. Her place is in the spotlight. You might be, I don't know, you might be someone who's a personality. I don't know. Maybe you're a great blogger or you're well known in your company or you do really well. But you have a dream to do something else. You have a dream and you might be very successful at what you do. But you want to take it in a new direction. Same with a relationship, right? A lot of passion there. But you want something a little deeper, something that's going for your emotions. And have a look. This is passion, excitement, right? All of that kind of stuff. Action that we take. But now we're getting into our fields. But then we're making something real out of that. The coins or the coins in this deck, pentacles, they're all about our physical stuff. Earth energy, things that we can see, feel, and touch. It's our long-term security and stability. Now, I've always said this. If I was going to start a relationship, I want it to start with the Ace of Pentacles or the Ace of Coins. Why? Because it begins slowly, but it has a solid foundation. And it is something that has the potential to stand the test of time. Now, for other people, this could be exploring a whole different way of making money, a new career. But it's something that you see it providing for you in the long term. Long-term stability and security. It's either in line with what you believe or you are reconsidering what you believe. A lot of elements coming in here if you think about it, thoughts. What do I know? What's the action that I've taken? How do I feel? What am I trying to build coming in? Now, what's your advice? Well, I mean, all of that's amazing. The only thing that kind of isn't is telling you things are not as bad as they seem. 9 of Swords is stress and anxiety. It's worry. But why would you worry? Because of this. Now, for some of you, the stress and anxiety is, I'm the Queen of Wands, but I don't know if I have the qualifications or if I'm the right person for this. The Queen of Wands can be seen as someone who's very attractive. So either you're seen that way or you find someone else very attractive. Now, attraction doesn't have to be physical beauty. They might be very charismatic. They might be very good at what they do, very successful at what they do, right? But so this could be that, I don't know, if there's someone that you want to offer your cup of love to, it can be that sense of that they're so attractive or they're so good at what they do, or I don't know if they will consider me. But the Nine of Swords is saying that's your thoughts telling you the worst case scenario. These are your fears and doubts coming in, right? And when I clarified it, I got the Six of Swords. So more swords energy. I think that's the real sticky point this week. Do the research, ask the questions, have the conversations. Don't get stuck in your own head trying to figure this out, because it just won't happen. And now, whenever I say that, specifically someone will say, but I've tried messaging so-and-so, I've tried doing whatever, they're not getting back to me. Then that's not the route. Think about it. Because when the Page of Swords is there, this is about being brutally honest with yourself. So if you're not getting the answer, if you ask for more information, because more information is needed, is that what sends you in a new direction? Is that what something new comes to your heart, that I deserve this? I want to feel happy. I want to be in a relationship that's communicative, or I want to be in a company that they give me answers to my questions, where I know what the rules are, where I know what I'm doing. Because there is a new seed, but you can only plant that seed because you know what you want to build, right? And so with the Six of Swords, this is moving away from a difficult situation. If there's been conflict in the past, that doesn't look like it's going to happen here. This is moving on to something new. And because it sits underneath the Queen of Wands, I think it's moving away from the old version of you and you're becoming someone new. Now, what does that mean? Who are we? I mean, we could get into a whole philosophical discussion about this, but who are we? Are we the way that we look? Are we the jobs that we do? Are we the relationships that we're in? Are we how we feel? Are we what we think? All of these things come into it, and only you can answer that. And that's what personal readings are for, whether they're from me, from someone else, an astrologer or something. But exploring that. But this feels pivotal. And it's deep. It's to do with your very faith in yourself, faith in your life, faith in what is possible. But you're building something amazing out of this. But this is the week for research to find out more. Because you don't have the answers. What you know is stressing you out. The Six of Swords is a journey card. Some of you might take a break to go consider this. Moving on somewhere else. It doesn't have to be a literal journey. It is the Six of Swords. So it may be, I always see the Six of Swords as moving closer to what it is that we love. Moving away. Because whenever we move away from something, we're also moving towards something else, right? And that's what it feels like for you this